And it is going live now. Awesome. So I want to see all of you having your mobility implements. I'll spotlight it out. I'll start the timer. And we'll get after some shoulder rolls for movement 1. Got to mute the live stream on the back end. Beautiful. And there we go. Yeah, you can go ahead and get started whenever you've got them. I'll get the timer rolling here on the back end now. We're going to get this officially started in 3 seconds. And we're going to go from a minute from right now. Thumb and pointer finger on here, guys. Lock those arms out as straight as we can. Trying not to bend the elbows. Try not to use any excessive force. When you can get a couple reps smoothly connected, then and only then, we will work those hands in a little bit closer. We've got about 35 seconds. Twenty seconds here, guys. We're going to go to shoulder circles. Couple more good repetitions here. And 3, 2, 1, guys. Palms down, arms locked out to either side. Forward here. So tight circles going forward. We'll go here for about another 20 seconds, then we'll switch it up to reverse. Gonna get a good amount of blood flow into those shoulders as we're gonna get some love on them today. 8 seconds here, guys. And go ahead, shake it off quick, and let's go backwards here, guys. So same exact body position. We're just going in reverse. Arms stay locked out, tight circles going back. Try and go tight and fast through those. About 20 seconds here as well. Five seconds here, guys. And we are live right now with plank to downward dog. So high plank position to start. That should be into your toes. Shoot the butt up, sit back into the heels for downward dog. Hang out there for a second or two, then reset our way back. But big thing here, guys, when we go back into that downward dog position, I want you to try and sit back into your heels. When we come into plank, we're coming up onto your toes. So we should be getting a nice hammy stretch, especially for those of you that are tight in that position as well. We got about 30 seconds here. And guys, I want you thinking ahead of time here as we're doing these. Whatever the closest weight you have to you is, we're going to grab that in 15 seconds. Whatever your closest resistance you've got, we're going to use that here in about 7 seconds. And grab that weight, stand on up. We're going strict press here, guys. So elbows low, hands high, all the way to lockout. Pull that weight back and overhead. We're just driving quality reps. We're not trying to go for speed here, guys. I want you to work on being explosive on the way up and really pulling that weight back and overhead at the peak of that range of motion. Good. Getting into a nice overhead position. We have about 35 seconds here. One movement left here. We'll get after what we have 4. Tabata for today. About 15 seconds here, guys, and we'll recover. Last 3. And last but not least here, guys, push-ups. We're driving down to the bottom of that position. I want you guys to give me full range of motion. That's all the way down. You have to make some compensations or do some shifts to get back up. We can get after it. This is also your max working potential here, guys. I don't want anybody dropping 2 levels less than what they're physically able to do here. Whatever your max working potential is what you are doing. So if you have level 3 push-ups and you start dropping to the knees, you are going to get called out individually versus generically. 30 seconds. Nice job, guys. Did about 20 seconds here. In time, guys. Good. While you're shaking it off, we're covering here. For eyeballs on the screen, I'm going to cover what we have for our movements, progressions for Tabata today. Again, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, through 4 minutes of total time. First one, we're going to use a light to intermediate weight. It's going to be squat to front raise. So you're starting that position with your arms locked, standing upright, right? Shoulder width apart with your feet. From here, as you drop into your squat, you're going to go all the way out and lift into the front raise position, pausing at the bottom, and then coming back up. So big range of motion, sitting back in the heels, keeping those arms straight, lifting and locking out, and squat to front raise is movement number one. Second one, you'll need your kettlebell or dumbbell. We're going cleans, one arm clean specifically for that. So kettlebells will be a little bit different than dumbbells as you are going to continually use the momentum of the weight. So you would hike it high up and in, we'd squeeze the glutes, go into that high pull, collect, push out and away, and then swing and back through. So the kettlebell would never touch the ground, and you're intentionally wanting to use the momentum of that kettlebell to keep repetitions happening. For the dumbbells, a little different because you will ground that weight every single time. Palm facing in, starting and finishing from the floor. We're deadlifting, squeezing that elbow in, collecting in the front rack, and then we're extending before we take that all the way down to the ground. All right, so you're going to do one arm cleans here, guys, on the same side, and we're going to go ahead and switch every round. So we'll alternate every round the hand that we are using. Third one, upright row to push press. Okay, so from here, it's going to be my kettlebell crew. 2 hands on the top of the bell. It's going to be on the ground to start. So from there, we can drive through the legs, and we can collect that up, but you're going to have to drop your elbows at the very top of that range of motion to collect the resistance. Okay, and then exactly, we're pushing up. Push press just means that I will give you guys some leeway on being able to use your legs. So if you want to do strict press at the top, if the weight is a little bit lighter, then we can. But if we are using a little bit heavier resistance, you can use a little bit of leg drive to finish that movement out. But the big thing with this one is as you go explosive to the top, make that transition down immediately with the kettlebell. So your hands are in a good position to press overhead. That's probably going to be the biggest cue that I'll give those of you with kettlebells. If you get a dumbbell, it's going to be a high pull into a push press or a strict press. So from there, we can pull up almost like we had pretty much for a one arm clean, and then we can transition that overhead to lock out. So if you want to do clean and press, we can go there. That probably would be a little bit easier for those of you guys that this is your first time with that movement. But same thing here, guys. If you are using a one arm variation, then you would be going and alternating every side for that round. The fourth movement is going to be a little bit easier technically. Floor jacks. So high plank position, shoulders over top of the wrist. Level 1s, you're stepping out from one side to the next, wider than shoulder width apart. Level 2s, you're jumping in and out while maintaining that nice plank position. And level 3s would add the knee tuck up top before kicking out and back in while holding that plank position as well. Staying down for the floor, pike press is your fifth movement. Thumb and pointer finger are touching. From here, the butt is back and away. Your head should be behind your hands. And you're driving your head down toward your hands. So that position you've created, and you're pushing back and away to lock out. So your head should never pass your hands. You're going down toward it and pushing back and away from it. Level 1s are going to do this from the knees, and 2s/3s can do this up on the toes. A little bit more straight up and down range of motion here for that progression. For 6, we're going to grab your resistance. It's going to be pass-through lunges. So starting with the weight in one hand, feet are side by side. You're going to perform an alternating lunge, but as you get to the bottom of that range of motion, you're transitioning the weight underneath you, and then in one movement, pushing back up. Doing the same thing to the opposite side. As we're lunging, transitioning underneath you, and trying to be as fluid, as tight, and as controlled as possible through pass-through lunges as your 6th movement. 7's going to be inchworms. So this will be body weight progression. Hands will be coming down to the floor, guys. If you need to bend on the way down, we can. But inching our way out until the shoulders are stacked over the wrist. Then here, trying to keep those legs as straight as possible until we're all the way upright. Okay, only difference here for level 3s is that you would add the push-up at the bottom. So we'd have that nice full range of push-up, range of motion push-up before we are standing all the way upright. Guys, if any of you guys on level 1 or 2, if the shoulders get a little too overloaded as we're inchworming, then just give me a nice high plank hold and maintain that position versus working that inchworm if we need to, if the shoulders are bugging you by that point in the workout. And last but not least, burpees. So starting in the upright position, hands are coming down to the floor. Level 1s would step back to plank, step wider than shoulder width apart, jump and clap overhead. 2s would jump back to plank, kick wider than shoulder width apart, jump and clap overhead. And level 3s would add the push-up at the bottom of that range of motion for jumping up wide and clapping overhead. And victory will officially be yours minus some stretching at that point with the fantabulous A number thing programming structure. I know it's a lot of movements, guys, but I will cover every single one of them as we're getting into them and until they look good. But outside of that, questions on the structure, Melissa, are we good?
I think I'm good.
Beautiful. Jennifer, questions?
No, I'm just going to be super happy when this is over. I can tell that right now. Super happy.
Perfect. Jessica, questions?
The strict press one for us with dumbbells, we don't need to do the swing, right? We just do this and then.
Correct. Yeah. So that's just straight up to collecting and then press. So you could even just visualize it as a clean and press. So if you take it just like the movement beforehand, that you're just going here, instead of just collecting in this position, you would go to lockout.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. All right. Got it. Thanks.
Perfect. And Naboo, questions?
No, I'm good.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So from here, stand on up. We are going to go squat to front raise as your first movement progression.
Juan, do you want me to do the clean to press or do you want me to do the high pull?
We'll do clean and presses there because it's, for dumbbell crew to try and teach that mechanic would be actually pretty awkward. So we'll just do clean and presses instead. And I'll make a note of that in Beef It Crew wise for anybody that, well, I think anybody that's following these follow the videos. So if you've got a single kettlebell, do clean and press. Squat to front raise is going to be our first movement here, guys. Let me get the jams going on the back end. We are good there. So I'll count you guys in for the first one. After I see you guys looking solid, looking good, I'll eyeball you through and you'll hear the jams a little bit more clearly and you'll see the clock from that point out. Okay. So guys, from here, we're going to start your first movement, squat to front raise in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and you are live right now here, guys. So as we're getting to the basin of that squat position, we're locking those arms out, keeping them straight, trying to pause slightly at the bottom of that range of motion before we drive explosive back up through the heels. About 5 seconds here, guys. 3, 2, 1, and recovering. Good. So from here, I'll show you guys the clock. 8 seconds, guys. We'll be back in squat to front raise, round 2. And you are live with your second one right now. Let's take a look at positions. And position and mechanics look great here, guys. Maintain it 8 seconds a time. 3 seconds. And pause. Good. Shake it off quick. We got 8. We'll be back in with round 3. And third round is live right now here, guys. And Naboo's back. Good. We're rocking.
I was slipping.
Yeah. And recovering for 10. I thought you had a package or something. I thought you went toward the door. And this will mark your halfway point here, guys. So maintaining that position, really sitting deep in that squat, making sure that we're trying to lock out at the peak, right technically the bottom of that range of motion, and we're pausing there. So as we get to the max depth, we should be all the way locked out for front raise. And recover. Nice job, guys. Halfway in here, halfway to go. And you are live right now here, guys, working. Excellent. Arm position is looking great. 5 seconds. And pause and good. Recovering. And you are live right now with 6 of 8 here, guys. And pause and good, guys. We got 2 more rounds to go. About 5 seconds till we start 7. We're live with 7 now. Again, breathing mechanics here, guys. That breath should be held in. That core should be tight all the way down and all the way back up. We should exhale as we finish a rep and inhale right before we start the next one. 5 to go. And pausing, guys. 1 more round to go. Last but not least, starts up in about 5. And we are live right now. About 10 seconds here, guys. Let's keep those arms straight. Let's work all the way to 0. Last couple good reps and control it. 5 to go. And pausing, guys. Good. You got 30 seconds here to recover. Breathe. Rest it up. We've got 1 arm cleans coming up next. So 1 arm cleans are coming up next in about, let's take a look here, about 20 seconds. So when we get about 10 seconds out, I'll spotlight it and I'll count you in to start off round 2. It's going to be 1 arm cleans. And we are 10 seconds out now. So I'll count you in here, guys, in a second. Get your weight ready. Start lining up. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And you are live right now with 1 arm clean. So if we've got dumbbells, I think we got dumbbells across the board. We got dumbbells across the board. So those of you that are with me right now, following the exact standard of what Aaron's got, if you had kettlebells on replay, you would be swinging into a high pull. 3 seconds here, guys. 2, 1, and pause and good. So from here, guys, go ahead and switch sides. 7 seconds. And you are live right now with your second one on the opposite side. Remember, we're switching, alternating every side. We're trying to take that weight from ground position straight up. And pause it. Nice. Ground that weight, shake it off. We're going back to our starting side in about 5.
Juan, this feels really awkward. Can you make sure I'm doing this right?
It was looking good.
Was it? Okay.
So it's like overall movement is going to be there. If you keep your palm facing in the entire time, it'll probably feel a little bit smoother for you, Jennifer.
Okay.
So see how I get like facing back at that point? And recovering, guys. Round 4. Because you're instead of your palm facing in, we're live right now. Keep it facing toward you, right? I'll show you here in a second. Just spotlight it on myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
About 10 seconds here, guys. You're gonna see my big old mug here in a second. Once we get into the recovery. All right, guys, resting for 10, I'll count you in. So Jennifer, instead of your palm facing toward you, have your hand facing neutral the entire time.
The entire time?
The entire time. Try that out. And we're live right now, guys. This is your 5th interval. Yeah. And the more you squeeze your elbow in at the peak of that, the more controlled that weight's going to be when you collect it. And pausing. Nice job, guys. Ground the weight, shake it off. We're going opposite side here in about 5. And we're live with 6 of 8. Means we got 3 more rounds, this one included. Remember, guys, that we're trying to sit back. We're using those hamstrings, using those glutes to generate as much power as we can. The more you do that, the more the arm's just going to be collecting versus having to try and curl it out. And pause. And we got 2 more to go here, guys. 2 more rounds. 1 on each side. And you are live right now.
Nothing feels the same anymore.
Last but not least here, guys, about 10 seconds of time. And recover. Nice job, guys. That's 2 full rounds in. We're going into round 3 coming up next. Ooh, brain fart. Load it up here. We've got upright row to push press. That would be for kettlebell. So, guys, I want you guys just to do clean and presses here for me. So that same mechanic we did, except now we're going to be finishing that movement out by locking the arm overhead. About 8 seconds here, so let me spotlight it on Aaron. Starting in 3. And we're live right now here, guys. So now for that one, we're pushing overhead. Now, again, can be a push press. So if this is getting tough to do just by pressing, put a light bend in those knees, sit back in the heels, and push through the legs to get that to lock out. 3 seconds. And pause. And nice job, guys. Good. Here's the clock. Here's the jams. And opposite side, you are live with it right now. So again, collect it, get your breath, brace, and then we can drive either strict, if the weight's a little bit lighter, if the weight feels a little bit heavier, bend in those knees and press through the legs. And recovering. Good. Press it up. And you're live right now here, guys. Again, we're switching every round. We're going to clean that, collect it. We'll press overhead. Anybody that was on replay, if you've got a kettlebell only, you can upright row and then press overhead. And pause and good. Next one will be your halfway point. And you are live right now. And recovering, guys. Halfway in, halfway to go. 5 seconds to start 5. Again, we're collecting, right? It's not just trying to go with those legs locked to the back. We're really trying to drive through the heels. The more explosive you can do that, the less you're going to have to pull it with your bicep. And pause it. Nice job, guys. You got 3 more to go. Switch sides. And you are live right now with your 6th one. 3 more to go, this one included. Means once we get this one knocked out, we only have 2 more to go. 8 seconds. And pause. And 2 more rounds, guys. Switch sides. And we're live with 7. Again, really focus on your breathing here too. You should be tight. It should be held as you pull to collect. Take another breath at that point. Stay tight all the way to lockout. You can either exhale when you peak or as you collect that weight. Pause, and guys, 1 more to go. Last but not least, 8 of 8 coming up. And you are live right now. 18 seconds between you and victory over this movement. Last couple good ones. Again, don't be breathing in and out as you're pulling or in and out as you're pressing. Breath should be in. We should be tight, braced in. About 5 seconds, guys. And time. Good, guys. Recover, breathe it, rest it up. We got about 25 seconds here until we get into our next one. It's going to be floor jacks for our next movement, guys. So we'll be heading down toward the floor just to yourself. We'll cover the standards.
Mom, can I do something else? My wrist is bothering me.
Let's do scissor kicks then, Naboo. And I'll go over both. We got 4 seconds till we start, though, here, guys. So you are rocking floor jacks on this position. So stepping in and out, jumping in and out, or adding the knee tuck at the top.
Kicks.
Yep, and just go as wide as go as big as you can through that.
Okay.
Beautiful, good. We got 4 seconds here, guys. 2, 1, and pausing. Nice. 1 round in, shake it off, reset. And we are live with round 2 here, guys. So again, we're either stepping in and out, we're jumping, or we're adding the knee tuck, but for all 3 levels, if we are going floor press. Shoulders have to be stacked over top of the wrist. Butts have to stay down low. Maintaining plank is your priority. 5 seconds. And pause. Nice job. Good. Recovering. And we're live right now with your 3rd one here, guys. If it gets to the point in here where even adding motion ends up being too much to maintain plank, then just give me the plank position. That's your main focus. 5 seconds. And recovering. Good. Next one will be your halfway point here, guys. 4 of 8 coming up. We're live right now. Again, looking slightly out in front of you guys. Don't tuck those chins down and in. Keep them lifted. Keep that neck neutral. Keep that airway open. About 10 in, about 10 to go. And rest. And nice job, guys. Halfway in, halfway to go. Shake it off. We're back in about 5. And you're live right now. And recover. Nice job, guys. Good. We got 3 more to go, this one included. Trying to be as continuous with reps through your active portion as you can. But during that work interval, we're really trying to move, even if it's just holding versus deloading completely. 5 seconds. And pausing, guys. Nice. 2 more to go. And you are live right now. 7 of 8. When I found you. Recover, guys. Last but not least, quick shake off here. 5 seconds. 8 of 8 coming up. And last but not least, maintaining that position. About 13 seconds to finish this out. And time. Nice job, guys. Good. Get some water in you quick if you need it. Recovering. Got about 24 seconds here. Load up what we got coming up next. We are looking at pike press. Pike press is coming up next. So we're staying in that position. Thumb and pointer finger touching Forehead all the way down, pushing back and away. We'll cover those movements. We are getting pretty close here, though, guys. We got 8 seconds. I'll count you in here from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pike press here, guys. Thumb and pointer finger touching. Forehead's coming all the way down, back and away. Head should never pass in front of your hands, just going toward it and away from it. And a higher variation, level 2s and 3s, would be from the toe position. Legs are straight, a little bit more up and down, same range of motion. 3 seconds here, guys. 2, 1, and recovering. Good. Here's the clock. We got about 10. Pike press round 2 coming up. And we are live and in business with it right now, guys. Good. And we are resting 2 in. Shake it off. 5 seconds. And you are live right now here, guys. Let's see what we got. Pike press again, trying to really get all the way down. Right? Forehead's working down toward the hands. Mechanics for everybody's looking great. Range of motion. Range of motion is what we want to get consistent. So all the way down here, guys. 5 seconds to go. And you are live right now with 4 of 8. So mark your halfway point once we finish it. Let's get all the way down here, guys. And we're pushing to lockout. Mechanics look good. We just want depth on every single one. And resting, guys. Good. Halfway in, halfway to go. About 10 in here, about 10 to go. This will mark your 5th movement. Sorry, 5th round. About 5 seconds. And pause and recover. And nice job, guys. Good. A few more to go. And round 6 starts up now. Again, let's really focus on getting depth, guys, even if we got to take that couple extra breaths at the top. 10 in, 10 to go. And recovering. Nice job, guys. 2 more. 7 and 8. And you are live with 7 right now. And recover, guys. Last but not least, final one coming up here to close it out in 5. And you're live right now here, guys, working through it. Final one. And time. Nice job, guys. Good. Breathe and hydrate and recover in. We got about 25 seconds. We will be standing back up for this next one. We'll need your resistance at that point. Pass-through lunges are coming up next. Pass-through lunges. We are about 10 seconds out here, guys. So grab that last quick of water in you. Breathe in quick. Oh, where'd she go? There she is. And 3, 2, 1. As you do the alternating lunge, you're going to pass that weight from one hand to the next. And in one explosive movement, we should be starting and ending in the same spot. Big thing here, guys, is even though that weight is going forward, as we transition, try not to lean. Still trying to go straight down with that back knee. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and pausing. Nice job, guys. Good. I'll take an eyeball across the board at all. You have 5 seconds to start 2. And we are live. Guys, if we get through this at any point and we cannot maintain the depth, go to body weight. And pausing. Good. Recovering. We're live right now here, guys. 3 of 8. Passing through again. If we end up not being able to get full range of motion, then just transition this to standard alternating lunges with body weight. 5 seconds. And pausing. Good. Next one will be your halfway point, guys. And you are live and in business with it right now. We got about 10 in, about 10 to go. And resting, recovering, good.
It's YouTube Music. Download the app today and get a trial of Music Premium on.
And you are live right now with 5 of 8. I'll get the gems are already back. Perfect. About 8 seconds here, guys. Beeps don't mean stop. Mean we still got 5. Recover here, guys. 6 of 8 coming up. And you are live right now. Remember, guys, as we are going through that lunge, we should be tight, breath held. You're not breathing in and out as you're lunging. 5 seconds of time. Passed it up here, guys. Good. And pause and good. We got one more to go, guys. Last but not least, 5 seconds to start it. No. 15 seconds here. Smooth transition, explosive up. Breath is tight as we're lunging. 8 seconds of time, guys. And time. Good. Recover here. Condition the weight. We got inchworms coming up next, guys. Inchworms are coming up next. If the shoulder again, or we having any shoulder or wrist mobility issues, let's just give me a either high or low plank hold. If we're good, then inchworms will be a variation, and we'll show that here in a few. About 10 seconds out. So last quick sip of water, guys. I'll count you in here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and inchworms, guys. So try and keep those legs as straight as we can, especially on the way back up. 1s and 2s would be the same here. Level 3s would add the push-up at the bottom. Anybody that ends up having any issues wrist or shoulder-wise here, then turn this into a low plank hold for me, we'll say, as a standard. 2 seconds. Finish this rep. Once you finish it, recover, guys. 8 seconds of time. And you are live right now with your second movement. So nice control here, guys. We're not looking for a crazy amount of speed coming in and out of that. I would rather see you guys having nice control and starting and ending in a solid position. 5 seconds of time to go. And pause and good. And you're back in with your third interval right now here, guys. So nice and controlled all the way out. Add that push-up in the bottom from my threes. Outside of that, especially on the way back up, try and keep those legs as straight as you can. About 5 seconds here to close it. And recovering. Good. Pausing. And you are live right now with your halfway point, guys. Once we finish it, you'll be halfway in, halfway to go. And your second to last movement of the workout for today. Beep spin, we're still going for 5. And pausing, guys. Good. Halfway in, halfway to go. 5 seconds, start it up. And you are live with 5 right now. In depth and control is looking solid for everybody across the board. Try and keep the legs a little straighter on the way back. And you are live with 6 right now, guys. This is 3 more to go, this one included. Working out to that plank. Remember, when we end at the bottom of that plank position, that chin should be lifted, airway open, looking slightly out in front. 5 seconds. And you are live right now. We're live right now. We're live with our recovery. We're live with our mover now. This is our second to last active round. Trying to keep moving through the next 10 seconds. And resting, guys. Last one. 5 seconds. And you are live right now. And we are recovering here, guys. You only got one more movement to go. It's going to be the fan favorite of the set. We got burpees to finish this bad boy out. Get some water in you quick. Recover in about 20 seconds. Shake it off. Reset. It's our last one, guys. Get done with all 8 here, and we will be donezo minus some stretches and mobility work for today. We are 10 seconds out, so at this point, get yourself upright, getting ready. I'll count you in from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are live right now here, guys. So we are stepping back to plank, stepping up wide for 1s, jumping back to plank and wide up top for 2s, and that push-up's getting added at the bottom, chest to deck, all the way down for level 3s. We have about another 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Nice job, guys. Good. Here's the clock. Here's the jams. Home stretch. Round 2 coming up in 5. And you are live right now. And pause, and guys, nice, good. 2 rounds in, a few more to go. And let's see how we're looking. We are live with 3 right now. And recover. Nice job, guys. Good. Shake it off. We're back in 5. And you're live right now. So again, this is our final one, and this is a movement we're trying to get as many quality reps as we can get. So we're really trying to be explosive, really trying to string as many together in 20 seconds as we can. About 5 seconds to go. and recover. Nice job, guys. Halfway in, halfway to go. We're starting round 5 in about 5. And you are live right now. 5 of 8. It's got another 3 after this one, and we are done. Let's keep it moving here, guys. Get all those feet all the way back. 5 seconds. And recovering good. And we're live with 6 of 8. 3 more to go, this one included. Rest in here, guys. We got 2 more rounds. 7 and 8. We're almost there. Home stretch. And we're live with 7 here, guys. Again, at this point, they only got 2 intervals, this one included. Let's really try and get those repetitions consistent. Solid. One right into the next. 8 seconds of time to go. And pause and good. Last but not least here, guys. You're live right now. Whether we're rocking burpees, if we've transitioned into a modification, let's keep those repetitions flowing for another 10 seconds. Last 10 here, guys. Don't be stopping on beeps. Beeps, we're still working for 5. A couple more good ones. And time. Oh, victory is officially yours for the workout, minus some stretches, guys. We're going to do some stretching, some mobility work for sure, as I saw some wrist and shoulder mobility issues through a couple movements that we're going to address so we can work past those. But let me go ahead and pause the music on the back end here. And let's start shoulder-wise. Let's just open up that shoulder position. So if you guys grab your mobility implements, we're going to start dynamically there and work our way into some static stretches, both for the shoulders and for the wrists as well. Get these guys going. Where do we go? There we are. Cool. So guys, once you've got that implement ready, we can do this seated. We can do it standing, shoulder rolls. Now you're going to be tight here. So start wider than you did for the base end of the warm-up, and work your way from that position. And if at any point in time you're finding yourself bending or having to use an excessive amount of force to get from one side to the next, you're a little bit too close for your current mobility. Get those hands out and keep on getting them out until we can get to a point where we can do it smooth from front to back without bending or compensating. Once you find that spot, then we can start to have the target of working those hands a little bit closer in as we can smoothly connect from front to back. We're going to take our time through this one here, guys. We got about another 35 seconds. Working on our breathing mechanics here as well. Big breath in through the nose, light pause, slow exhale. As we exhale, letting all that air out and feeling that heart rate starting to come back down. About 10 seconds here, guys. And 3, 2, 1. Rest and slowly working our way down. We're going to do some wrist mobility drills here. Aaron, we'll go your standard wrist mobility drill here. So the palm facing backwards in toward you. Yep. So from here, guys, some of you guys might not be able to get this position without having to lean forward, which would be okay. But from here, let me take a look at all you guys. Your palms are going to be facing back toward you. Your arms would be in. And from that position, once we can get flat, we would start to sit back toward the heels or lean back. Now, any of you guys that have really tight wrists are going to have to stay a lot more forward, potentially even over top. And that's okay if you're keeping the arms straight and the palms locked out. If that is you, though, we're going to have some homework assignments to really be mobilizing those wrists, right? So any of those times where we get any sort of tendonitis or potentially even feeling carpal tunnel-esque like symptoms in that position, a lot of times that wrist mobility is really locked in, and by lengthening those ligaments and gaining some mobility in that position, we can alleviate a lot of the pain or the symptoms that come with that. That's my semi spiel for now here, guys. Sitting back in that position again. If this is not any wrist mobility drills are not something that are going to be feeling particularly comfortable, and even if you have excellent wrist mobility, right? But your two big focuses here are to keep the arms straight and to keep the hands flat. If you've got to come out of it and shake it off, guys, go ahead and do so. But ideally lean forward before you completely come out of it. Then our intention is to try and add a little bit more stretch. And again, our stretch here is by sitting back and driving the shoulders over top of the fingers that are pointed toward you. About another 15 here, guys. Again, if we got to come out of position, shake it off, reset, come back in. But the more time that we can maintain under tension, the more we're going to be able to lengthen and mobilize. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Working slowly forward, then out of position here, guys. And last but not least, let's get some blood flow back in there. Someone might have a couple battle cries from you guys for some wrist circles. So interlock the fingers, keep the forearms touching, choose the direction. We're going to go 15 seconds each side. So keep the same rotation going on here for about another 8. 3 seconds. And let's go ahead and keep the forearms touching, rotate the opposite way. So we're going the opposite direction here. Getting some wrist circles. Maintain in position. Good. And 2, 1. Shake those hands out, guys. And with that, victory is officially yours for today. You did it. You made it. You survived it. Those of you that have any shoulders that have been tight, wrists that have been tight through these movements, make sure that we are taking the time tonight as well to stretch and mobilize, right? So if we have any of those issues or impingements going on, that's a daily thing. 3 to 5 minutes a day goes a long way. The biggest thing is consistency, right? If you do it, then you'll see the improvements. And there's my spiel. All right. Melissa, how are we feeling? Questions for me?
Fine.
He's like, whatever, one. Wrist mobility. Important. It's important. Jennifer, questions for me? How are we feeling?
I'm super glad it's done. Exactly.
Excellent.
But
That's fair. That's fair. And Jess, how are we feeling? Questions for me? Jessica, questions for me?
Oh, you froze there for a second. No, I'm fine.
Okay, no worries. And Naboo, how are we feeling? Questions for me? She's got a thumbs up over there. Naboo's got a homework assignment. She's going to be mobilizing those wrists for me. Yes, she's already going back through.
I can't do any of those stretches. My arm, it just shoots pain up my whole entire arm. So I
you can do those stretches. You just have to do variations of those stretches.
Yeah, I can't turn my hands this way at all. I mean, I have to have them like that.
Yeah.
Even then, it's still shooting pain up. It's lovely.
So you're gonna be joining Naboo in the homework club then, so you can get some wrist mobility. I'll have to find it because I honestly had put it together for myself originally, and then I had forwarded it out to members at that time. But the full routine and different variations that I do for wrist mobility, right? Because we can do these now post workout, but you wouldn't want to go into such an aggressive stretch if you were cold necessarily. So those of you that have homework assignments might get a homework template from me directly here later in the near future to get your wrist mobility on point. I'm going back through it now too with all that time off. It's my wrist mobility has been meh. So maybe I'll do that with you. I'll do some videos and you guys can do that and we'll have excellent wrist mobility together. It's not the flashiest thing, but guys, it helps out because if it's bugging you through movements, it's going to limit what you can do. And if we have that on point, you're going to be feeling better and able to perform higher progressions as you.
Yeah, because I know I think it would help with my grip and stuff too, because I know sometimes using the heavier weights, I can feel it in my wrist and like right here. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure
it'll help protect your elbow and shoulder too, so you're not compensating.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the times it's always down the chain, right? Everybody that the shoulder mobility or shoulder issues or mobility problems are generally addressed lower in the chain. And even by doing that, if any of you guys have any shoulder issues too, it would help because it's just tightness across the board that's going to cause that. But
I feel excitement, Juan.
what's that?
Everybody looks really excited.
I know. Nobody wants to hear me talk about stretching or mobility, but I don't care. You guys need it.
It's like the
You
most
need it.
important thing.
Nobody wants to hear it, but you need it. So doing it. You're gonna get some homework from me in the near future if I saw any.
I think
mobility
I'm
issues.
okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. It's good.
It is though. It's like one of the most important things you guys can do for your bodies is to make sure that your joints are loose.
Yeah.
It's realistic. Like if you leave a shoulder like mobility issue unchecked, you'll end up having tendonitis in the elbow almost 99% of the time. Same thing with the wrist mobility issue. That could pop up somewhere else. So, and you don't want that. You don't want to have those symptoms. So it's not the flashiest thing. It definitely doesn't feel great, but do it. And that's enough of my spiel for today. Guys, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in for the next live workout.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
guys.
Bye.